Hi third graders, today I'm going to show you how we are going to make a scaled bar graph using a tool that I found online. It's going to be pretty easy. We're just going to have to follow a few steps. So as you're listening to this video, you are going to need to do some things off to the side on a different window. So it might be good to open a different window and then drag it so it's side by side with this window. So as I say something, you can also do it. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is that you are going to, by this point, you're obviously already on the scaled bar graph assignment because you were watching the video on here. You are going to need to go up to the top where you see this link that my cursor is hovering over. You're going to click that and it's going to open in a new window. You now are on the website where it has the bar graph tool. You're going to click here and it's going to open the bar graph creator with all of these boxes where you're going to put in your titles and your labels and your scale, and you're going to change the color of your bars, all that different stuff. It's all on this page. So you are going to be using the data that we collected from doing our ice cream survey. So it's going to be real data from our class that is actually not going to be the same as what you're seeing in this video, because the data I'm using in this video is from a year previous to this one. So it's not going to be your names and it's not going to be your data that I'm using in this example, but you're going to be using your data that we gathered from our Google form. Okay, so your numbers will be different, but your ice cream flavors will be the same, and your titles and all of that right here and right here will be the same. Your values will be different though. Okay, so you are going to need to go back to the Google form with the information. There's going to be a section that says class data, and it has everyone's name who took the survey, and then it has what they voted for. So we have I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different flavors: vanilla, sherbet, other, cookie dough, chocolate chip, and chocolate. Those were our categories. So we're going to need to keep those in mind when we're making our bar graph. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we are going to need to title our graph. And I think a good title might be something like Students Flavor Ice or Favorite Ice Cream Flavor. We are going to need to also title our x-axis, and that's the one that goes along the bottom. The y-axis is the one that goes along the side like this, and that usually, not always, you can make it however you want, but that usually is going to have your numbers. So your scale is going to go over here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, depending on what your scale is. So the x-axis is going to be one of your labels, and that is going to be what our categories are. Remember, our categories are our flavors. And the y-axis is going to show us how many students voted for each flavor. So that's going to be your y-axis. So x is flavors and y is students. All right, now we need to fill in the bars. We're going to have different bars, just like we learned in class. It has different bars that represent our data. Each bar is going to be a different flavor. So if you go back, you can see that we had one of them was vanilla. One was vanilla, one was sherbet. Let me start writing these. Computer's going to die. I have to plug it in. Okay. Vanilla sherbet. Let me type this in. Vanilla sherbet. I think the other one was other. What came next? And then we had cookie dough, chocolate chip, chocolate. Cookie dough, chocolate chip, and and then what was the last one? I already forgot. Chocolate chip, oh, and just chocolate. Okay, so we have our 6 flavors. Oops. And now we need to fill in our values. So we're going to get that data from this picture that I have for the class data, and you're going to need to see how many people voted for vanilla. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our value, 4. For sherbet, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. For other, we have a lot more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. and cookie dough is 4. And then chocolate chip is 1, and then chocolate is 3. 1 and 3. Ooh, we had a lot of 4s. 4 for vanilla, sherbet, and cookie dough. But other was 8. Chocolate chip was 1, and chocolate, there were 3 votes. Okay, you're going to want to change the colors of your bars to anything that you want, really, just so that they look different so you can tell which one's which. So vanilla is going to be a certain color and sherbet's going to be a different color. You can match them up with what color they really are in real life, and that might be helpful. So vanilla, I'll make white. Sherbet, sometimes it's orange or pink. Let's make it orange. Other, let's make that one green. Any colors you want. It's totally up to you. I'll make this one, let's make it brown. Chocolate chip, I'll make black, and chocolate, I'll just make dark blue. Okay, so now that we have that done, you're going to need a minimum and a maximum value. Your minimum is going to be 0 for sure. Your maximum value, you can make it anything bigger than your biggest value. So our biggest value is 8, so you can make it something like 10 or 12 or 15 or 20. It's up to you. You don't want it to be too big though, because then your bars are going to look really funky, but you want it to be bigger than whatever your biggest value is. So for example, in this one, it's 8. But it might not be 8 when we take our survey, because this is a survey from a previous year. So I'm going to just put maximum value. Let's do, I'm going to do 12, just because. And that's going to make our scale for us, as you'll see. So we don't need to change any of this. This is all fine. We are just going to click Create Printable Graph. And it's going to do all the work for us. We don't even have to color anything. And it's going to pop up with this. We have our labels, our scale, our bars. We have another label down here for what this is. And our categories are actually color-coded. So the white one means vanilla. The orange one means sherbet. The green one means other. The brown one's cookie dough. We made these colors. So instead of the categories being down here, like on the bar graph we made in class, they just put a key over here that we've talked about that word before, key. It's telling us what the data means, and it's just off on the side. So at this point, you're done with your bar graph, and you're going to need to upload it to the Google form that we're doing this assignment in. There's a turn-in spot. You're going to click Add File, but first we need to have a file to save. So we are going to right-click, Save Image As, and I want you to save it as your name, okay? Because that will help me know which bar graph belongs to which person. So don't save it as Ashley. You're going to save it as your name. You're going to click Save. Now it's going to save it for you, and it's on your computer, and that's now when you can add the file. Click Select File from Computer. Click here, Open. It's going to upload it for you, and there it is. Your file has been uploaded, and you're pretty much done with the most of the assignment. You just have to answer these word problems now, and it's going to be based on your bar graph. So it would be handy for you to have your bar graph open so that you can answer these questions. Most popular flavor, least popular flavor, things like that, okay? So I hope that you were able to make your bar graph pretty easily and it wasn't too challenging, but there probably was a part that was a little bit challenging for you, so I want you to write about that right here. And remember, if you have any questions, I want you to ask some friends before you come to me, at least 3 friends before you come to me, because there are going to be plenty of experts in the room who figured out how to do this challenging assignment, and they will be glad to help you. Okay, so good luck and enjoy your bar graphs.